Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists professionals with employment contract issues. Today, I'm going to talk about what it means to work under a W-2 contract. So, there are two types of employment relationships for a professional. You are either working as an employee or you're working as an independent contractor. And so, when you work as an employee, you are a W-2 employee, which means at the end of the year, the employer will send you a W-2, which has a summary of all the compensation you received in the previous year, and then all the taxes that have been taken out of it for Social Security and Medicare and that type of thing. If you're an independent contractor, you're considered a 1099 employee, and in that scenario, no taxes are taken out of any of your compensation. You just get paid the full amount, and then it's your responsibility at the end of the year, or if you're paying quarterly, to pay all of the taxes to either the state or the federal government, depending upon where you're working. So, what are the advantages of one over the other? Well, if you are an employee, so if you are a W-2, then you'll receive benefits, whereas an independent contractor usually will not. And so, normal benefits for a professional, licensing dues and fees, health, vision, dental, retirement, disability, paid time off. They'll probably pay for some kind of continuing education. If you're in healthcare and need malpractice insurance, they'll pay for your underlying premium, tail insurance if necessary. Whereas as an independent contractor, for the most part, you're not going to get any of those things. Maybe if you're a healthcare provider, they'll pay for your underlying premium, but extremely unlikely they're going to pay for tail if needed. And they're not going to pay for any of the other things. They won't pay for your licenses, for your registrations, any kind of health, vision, dental, retirement, life, disability. All of that will be the responsibility of the independent contractor. Now, if you have the choice of being an employee versus being an independent contractor, there are a few things you need to think about. One, if you're working as an independent contractor, then you very likely should set up an LLC or a PLLC, just depends upon what state you're in. And then in that scenario, you'll have a bank account under your business and a tax ID number, and then you can deduct all of the expenses that are associated with your kind of professional services. So once again, if you're a healthcare provider, then you could deduct your malpractice insurance, any supplies, maybe a rental space, travel, any of that stuff associated with you working for the company you are as an independent contractor. Now, benefits of a W-2, obviously, the benefits. So having healthcare, travel reimbursement, continuing education, support, so administrative support, many times you're not going to get as an independent contractor. That's what makes the W-2 position, I guess, attractive. I also find, as an attorney who helps professionals, many independent contractors don't budget for having to pay the taxes on what they're paid throughout the year, and so they'll get to the end of the year and they'll owe a significant amount of money, and for some people it's a budgetary problem, whereas when you're working as a W-2 employee, all the taxes are taken out every time you get paid, and therefore at the end of the year, theoretically, you're not going to owe anything back to the government. So that's what it means to work as under a W-2 contract. If you sign an employment contract, it's not called a W-2 contract. You are classified as a W-2 employee because you receive the W-2 at the end of the year. But any kind of employment contract that you're going to sign will be called an employment contract, not a W-2 contract. Well, if you have any questions about an employment contract, differences between being a W-2 and a 1099 independent contractor, feel free to contact my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description. You can reach us through our website, chellelaw.com. Anyway, appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.